Szanowni Państwo, jest to incepcja w incepcji, czyli ja jestem w lustrze, a lustro jest w lustrze i to wszystko jest jeszcze w obiektywie i w ogóle dzieją się tu rzeczy niesamowite. Spektrofobia jest to lęk przed oglądaniem siebie samego w lustrze. Między innymi odkładam, między innymi o tym jest najnowsza książka Sebastiana Fitzka Mimika i właśnie jedziemy do Poznania w trudnych warunkach, bo drzwi nam się zamykają. Jedziemy do Poznania, żeby porozmawiać z Sebastianem o jego najnowszej książce, a tak się składa, że Sebastian ma nowego wydawcę w Polsce, czyli Wydawnictwo Albatros, więc porozmawiamy sobie o rzeczach różnych. A ja teraz sprawdzę, czy mam spektrofobię i spojrzę w lustro.
Actually, I've been to the hair cutter. How you say? So it's okay. It's okay. But I don't like to see me on photos. But this is really great. Well done.
The mirror is a very important thing in your newest novel.
We have the main protagonist, and she is afraid of mirrors. She can't look in the mirror. She can't stand herself. And it's very interesting because she is a mimic expert. She reads in faces, but not in her own.
It's not very usual. It is called spectrophobia.
Yeah.
It's not very usual. No. Also in crime stories, the first time when I read about it. So what was your idea to put it into the plot? Who was your consultant about that medical thing?
Well, I have a consultant. His name is Dirk Eilert. He is in Germany the most known for mimic expert. And he can teach you a lot about what a blink of an eye, for example, says about your emotions. And I found it interesting that, well, the main plot is that we have a female expert, and she has a confession tape where a woman says she murdered the whole family. And she has only the confession tape to prove it's right or wrong. But the problem is the woman on the murderer is the forensic the expert by herself. So she has to look in a mirror. She has to look at the video confession tape to understand, did I really do this? Well, so this was the main idea behind this.
Are you able to more control your mimics, because you know that mimics could be very important for other people?
Unfortunately not, because we can't control it. For example, you go into a room and you smell something bad. Your nose goes like this. You can't really avoid it. It's like a reflex. So there is no such thing as a poker face. It's like 300 milliseconds it takes you to show facial expressions, and you really can't hide them. This is an interesting fact about this.
Do you think that we can read everything from people's faces?
No, only emotions. In movies and books, the most common mistake is that it's like mind reading. But this is not magic. Mimic can only teach you something about the connection between what you're saying and what your face is showing. For example, you say you're happy, but your eyes are not smiling. That could be sad, even depressed. If you're angry, you can see in a face if you like someone on the first date. So if there will be a second date, an expert really sees this in a very few seconds because, well, you can't hide it.
Do you have any hints, any secrets which you didn't put into the plot, but you know about it, about people's faces? I read one of interview with you, and you said that eyebrows are could be very important to.
Yeah. For example, it's much more. The eyebrows are much more important than, for example, your hair. If you just get rid of your eyebrows, people really have a hard time to recognize you. This is not in the novel as well, and. the thing about there's something about lying, for example. Lying is so hard. People in most of movies, you see that, oh, he's looking to the right corner and, oh, he must be a liar. That's not true. But it's another way to understand how you can detect a lie or not.
The Mimic is a psycho thriller,
Yeah.
but for me it's also, maybe mainly, a story about relationship between parents and their children.
To me, every good story, whether it's a crime story, science fiction, or drama, it's a family story. It's always about family. You can, like Harry Potter is a family story, Star Wars, Titanic, Gone with the Wind. It's all about families, and so are my psycho thrillers. For example, The Silence of the Lambs, by the way, a family story too.
You decided to write this book with this split pages.
Yeah.
It's some kind of new in Polish crime literature.
It's also new in German and everywhere. I was addicted to 24, the series, and you know there are several screens, the split screens, and you have to have like you could follow 4 or 5 different scenes in the whole time in one time. So I thought, is this possible in the book too? And I tried to invent the split pages where you have one chapter from 2 perspectives at the same time.
We have met few years ago during the meeting in Warsaw, but now you have the new home, the Albatros publishing house. So the new beginning in Poland for you?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I had a great time with Polish readers, and I hope again to have a huge connection. I mean, we all faced hard times. I was before the pandemic here, a lot of things changed. But now I think, and I have the great feeling that I have a new home and that I can reach out to all the Polish readers again.
In a few months in Poland will be published your book Invitation. What can we say about that?
Well, this is a claustrophobic thriller, which takes place in a mountain, and there we have a female hero, and well, she there's a class reunion, and she has a problem that she can't recognize faces. But she doesn't know it, by the way. A lot of people can't recognize faces. They have other, like they look at the haircut, they look at the style, at the voice, for example, or the gesture, and then they find out, oh, but I can recognize the face of a person. So when she goes to the class reunion in the mountains, well, she's not sure if the people that are waiting for her there, if they are the true persons that they've been to school with. This is a story that's about.
Hanna Herbst, the main character of the Mimika, can also lost her memory in special situations.
Well, usually, all of us, we lose our memories when we are going to surgery and we have anesthesia, for example, because hopefully we don't remember anything that's, we forget about the few seconds before and the few seconds after the surgery. She gets rid of the whole day before, but memory comes back. It's not so unusually, this kind of amnesia. It's like a medical amnesia that a lot of people have, but the memory is coming back.
What is the price of the writer's success? Maybe you have not so many time if you want for your family or for your hobbies or etc.
I think the price, the family has to pay the price, because for me, I have a great life, and I'm always, a lot of time, I'm physical there, but in my head, I'm completely somewhere else. So I'm sitting at the dinner table, and they have to ask repeatedly the same questions because I'm just triggered, and I'm thinking about a chapter that I already wrote or the chapter that I'm going to write tomorrow. So it's a hard time for them. To me, I'm always in my world. I think mostly they have to pay the price.
But what is the way to make a success like a writer? Is there any way that you have to do step by step, or maybe it's some kind of being lucky and hardworking?
Luck is always, you need to have a huge portion of luck, because I think there are many good authors and novels out there, but I was lucky to have, in 2006, my first novel had a really low amount of copies, and I was lucky to have been in the right place, the right time, and word of mouth started. But you always need a good book. You need a book, and good, it's in the view of the readers. So you need a book that people like to read and they like to recommend. So, but there's no formula for this. The only thing that I really strongly advise is ask yourself a question. If you have many ideas and you only can write one book, and after this you're not allowed to write any book, so what would be the one book of your life? And would you even write it down if everybody would say, well, nobody wants to read it? Because this happened to me. If you don't care, if you said, I need this story out, not for a living, not because I want to become famous, but I need this story to hear and to read someone. Well, this might be really the right story, and it has maybe then it has a possibility to get the attention of others if you really care so much about your own story.
In 2006, had you plan B?
Well, I had plan B and C. I just sent my first novel to 15 publishing houses, and 12 rejected and 3 haven't answered till now. So this was not a very good quote. Then I thought, okay, I need someone who read this really, because I was naive, and I thought, okay, they didn't read it, they just sent me a letter of rejection because they had no time to read it. So I Googled a literary agent who is only paid if he reads it, or she, and then get me a contract. Roman Hocke, my literary agent now, he said to me, well, you made a lot of beginner mistakes, and he forced me, he didn't force me, but he said something. He thought I would quit, but I started the rewriting process to get rid of all my beginner mistakes. And after the 7th draft, he said, okay, now we can try it again. But there was only one publishing house then with the 7th draft said, okay, we give it a try. If Drömer Knau, which is my publishing house in Germany, would have said, no, we don't do it, then plan B would have been self-publishing. This would have been my plan B, to become self-publishing.